At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in. This is The Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the host, Haas Tabrizi, streaming in. We got the man, DP, not streaming in because he's at the game right now, watching Nebraska basketball face off versus Maryland. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a call from him, but I think halftime may already be on its way being done with, so I don't think we'll be able to get DP in this one, but that's all right. Haas, there's plenty of things to talk about. I'm excited today for a litany of reasons. Not only is there great football, there's a lot of great things going on. Basketball. It's been a brutal stretch for those guys, but it is your show. 402-464-5685. If you guys want to chime in, feel free to use the Starter Heyman text line Haas Tabrizi, where do you want to go with it?
It's a brutal stretch for who?
The Huskers. In terms of Husker basketball, they've been dropping a lot of ball games. This is an opportunity, a big one, not only to win a game, get back on the winning side, but beat a Big Ten team on the road. I don't care if it's Maryland. I don't care if it's Oregon, Ohio State. Pick anyone. Big Ten road game's a big deal.
I mean, we talk about that every week. So DP is here in the DMV right now, the home of the Super Bowl. What? By the home of the Super Bowl, I mean Commanders and Ravens, DMV. For those of you from around here, DC, Maryland, Virginia. The Commanders practice in Virginia, have a Washington name, and then they play in Maryland. So if the refs allow it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Lamar versus Jaden Daniels Super Bowl.
Okay, well, you kind of mentioned it. I guess we have to start there now, right? Did the refs allow something yesterday, or was that just, stuff happens?
Did the refs? Okay, all right. If you say the refs don't control the game, you are clearly a Chiefs fan. Number one, you don't have to say a word. It just means you are a Chiefs fan. Because if you watch the hits that happened to Jaden Daniels last night, there should have been 5 roughing the passer penalties that were not called. Because half of those hits, and by half, I mean the severity, the how far from out of bounds it was, or how late they were. If it was even a smidge and it was a number 15 jersey in Kansas City, then they would have all been called. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Yes to all that. We were talking about it's there's probably 9 plays that you can call that, it's one thing. There's going to be some bad calls. Not every ref's perfect. I can understand the human element of it. It's the ones that are directly in front of your face that I can't stand. We talked about that with Iowa and Nebraska when the Iowa men's team, not the women's team, because the women's team went on the road and won a big one in OT, but the men's team went on the road, dropped a 15-point lead, but realistically at the end there, still had some good control, but you get a reach cross. They don't call it on Bryce Williams, so they get the steal. They also push Bryce Williams down on the floor in the process of going for the loose ball. Don't call the foul. And then you have the clearest double dribble right in front of the ref's eyes, and they don't call it. Like, the obvious ones are what's going to drive fans nuts. And when you miss the obvious ones, that much, the Iowa game was bad. This game with the Chiefs was so many calls in a row, it was impossible not to notice, to the point where you even have the announcers who know they're not really supposed to criticize it at all, calling it out. And then you have the referee, the officiating crew referee, also disagreeing with what's being called on the field. What a mess. And then to cap it all off, we're flopping in the NFL today, or at least one guy is, to get calls. I've never seen that in football before, and that's the saddest part about football today, is that there's a pro player out there who's flopping for calls.
So I respect talent. I respect people when they're really good. But now when Mahomes gets hurt, is he really hurt? He always comes back with these really bad ankle sprains and he can't walk and needs a stretcher. He's taken to the ambulance and he comes back 4 seconds later and he plays. I don't know if I'm going to ever believe anything he does ever again.
Yep. And Don says, I see what you did there, Haas. Watch out for the target penalty coming your way. I wouldn't be surprised if I got a flag in the mail today for all the stuff I've been saying about the Chiefs this morning. Because it's just, that's not, when you have the entire fan base notice how bad it is, we've talked about, I think this was you who I talked about with the fake slides, right? They're going to have to do something about that because they can't allow QBs to really just keep the defenders second guessing. I mean, you talk about player safety. We saw what happened to the 2 Texans players because Mahomes just didn't slide, literally just dropped and somehow still got the flag on a super late slide. And you see the 2 Texans players clash into each other. Like, if you are a quarterback, you have to give yourself up. You can't do this trickery, fake out of bounds, fake slide, fake scamper around. Mahomes was about to give himself up and then try to dance and then gave himself at the last moment and got rewarded with the flag. That wasn't a slide. That he just dropped to the floor and got a flag for it. Am I going like too strong on this, or was it that bad?
You know who I blame? I blame the coaches of the other teams. Just hear me out. And I'm gonna get suspended and fined for this. If you want Mahomes, what's that?
Is that Don is right. You are certainly going to get a targeting flag coming your way today.
No. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. If you want Mahomes to stop flopping and Mahomes to stop getting cheap penalties, the next time Mahomes is nearly out of bounds, or the next time Mahomes looks like he is about to slide, just hit him as hard as you possibly could and knock his helmet off and knock his shoes off his body and do it again. Get 2 targeting penalties. See what happens. I'm sure they'll throw him out of the stadium, but it is not fair to do that to defensive players and be like, well, you can't tackle me. You can't touch me. You can't do anything. You can't pull my flag. I'm going to flag guard and play flag football. I'm going to do all those things. So if you want to change it, if refs are going to screw things up, you got to go full on. What's the movie? The Longest Yard? You got to go full on Longest Yard and take it into your own effect and go to the refs and be like, okay, are you happy now? Are we good? Throw the ball at the ref's face the next play and be like, that's it. My bad, ref. Because it's so bad. It's almost as if you should just stop watching the NFL. That's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, that game was like almost worthy of like boycott. it was hard to watch at times. You're right though. Jay Foreman, the former Buffalo Bill, who's very hopeful today that his team gets a win, and the former Husker had the same thought. You're gonna get 15 yards anyway by the looks of it. Even if you do the right thing, you're still gonna get the flag. Might as well just go go lay the hit. If they're gonna flag you anyways, you might as well just send the message. Because I will say, you did see that with like Caleb Williams earlier in the year. He tried to do a little Mahomes thing and get fancy on the sideline. And you know what happened? The defender didn't bite on it at all, and he got lit up in the back. And you didn't see Williams do that for the rest of the season. On even thinking about trying to do a little bit of trickery on the edges or faking a slide. Mahomes hasn't gotten that hit yet. And I think one of those hits might get him to knock that off. I'm serious. Like, it's because with that hit with Caleb Williams I'm talking about, the Bears fan base was so mad. But I was like, I get it though. Like, you have to defend the player. Like, that's Caleb Williams' fault. You can't be playing that game. So I actually thought the refs did the right thing. No flag. That's what's got to happen. Like, that's how you fix those things. It's like you need a defender to lay a hit, and you need the ref to not cower and throw the flag because a superstar got hit. That's how you solve it. But unfortunately, all these calls just go towards, Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs' way. So if you are the Chiefs, like, you are getting rewarded for those habits. So you're clearly just going to keep doing them, and they have. They've become increasingly more playing through the flags than I've ever seen any team do before. In such a bizarre way, like they really find a way to utilize the refs at times. It's hard to watch. And I don't want to say they find a way to utilize the refs because it may just be it's in the script for the NFL, not the Chiefs. That's really all I got for it. To me, it's clearly favoring one team to go and win that game.
And then he looks at the refs. He looks at the refs to make sure the call's made. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, seriously? There was a really bad penalty that you said the two Texans hit each other. The next play, there was a massive hold. Like, I didn't watch anything online. I didn't watch any Twitter or I just watched the game. And the defensive tackle was spun around by the center with how bad he held him.
I saw that
so bad.
I saw that live too. I watched that game and I wasn't on my phone through pretty much all of it because I was on it already too much and I was dying. And I sat through that game, watched it, and I thought it looked horrible, like from an officiating standpoint. And then after the game, I really started getting on X and I started seeing all the clips. And I was like, man, I wasn't overreacting at all. Because sometimes when you watch a game live, obviously I'm not rooting for the Chiefs to win another one. I'm like, maybe I'm just seeing the things I want to see. No, it was just that egregious. When you have, like I said, when you have the announcers on the TV, the referee, everybody chiming in, about how bad the officiating is, you got real problems there. That's all I got on the Chiefs, though. I really don't.
Last thing, it's a bigger problem. It is a much bigger problem because there's so many holds that happen by the Chiefs line that isn't called and isn't replayed on purpose. They're trying to hide things from fans, and it's not okay. Like if that was another that's where I'm coming from, is if this was another team playing and a egregious call was missed, they would highlight it, and they don't do that for the Chiefs. All right, moving on.
Real quick here, Bill and Bennett, he just also agrees. Hard to play not only against the Chiefs, but the referees. They were a little too biased yesterday, if you ask me. Yeah, definitely were. Bill and Bennett, I concur. All right, Haas.
So Commanders, pretty cool. I rarely go to FedEx to watch the Commanders, even when the 49ers are in town. It's not a fun vibe. There's a different vibe this year with the team. There's a different vibe. I was telling DP about that. He's a diehard Commanders fan, and most people here don't call them the Commanders, by the way. With that, the Commanders, they have this Cinderella type aura, and it starts with their quarterback. And with that, it's we're not the 11 seed. We're gonna win. We're gonna beat the 6. We're gonna beat the 5. We're gonna beat the 1. And by that, I'm talking about March Madness and Cinderellas and George Mason making runs in 2006. Like, whatever. We're really good. And that's what it looked like last night. First of all, Jared Goff, oh man, you were not throwing to the right team. Oh, there were some terrible turnovers. And here in DC, the Commanders are not known for their defense. And to have a pick six and to have an interception in the end zone to end the half, those were some massive plays by the defense. So hats off to the Commanders. To do that without getting the ball to Scary Terry that much and just run the ball and control the ball and control the game. Hey, hats off. I don't know if you can beat the Rams.
Rams are hot right now.
But you can beat the Eagles.
No.
So, what?
No.
The Commanders will beat the Eagles if the Eagles win. 100%. No hesitation.
Okay, lay it out for me. Why that? I can see a world where it happens, but why is that one so certain? But if it's the Rams, it's a different story.
So the Rams' defensive line and offensive line and receivers and running back and quarterback and secondary might be the most elite. And the reason why people aren't as high on the Rams is I think they were 1-4 to start the year. But their defensive line, they invested in all young people where you had the best football player in the last decade retire, and your defensive line is better this year than it was last year. I'm going to repeat that. Aaron Donald retired, and the Rams are better on the defensive line this year than last year. And that's because they spent so much talent in the draft where they said, screw the picks for the last 5-6 years. And then now they actually drafted, and they drafted really well. And so that's why the Rams are so good, because they already had all the weapons on offense, and then they invested in both lines, and it's scary. The Rams are back. They're the best team in the NFC West. They might be the best team in the NFC.
I will say they're better than I think people are giving them credit for, because I did actually have them go ahead and winning that first round. A lot of it, I think you're right, is health. They just got healthy finally. Like they for a while there, especially earlier in the year, that's kind of how they got to that 1-4, was just trying to figure out ways to get the pieces in place with some guys out, missing, and uncertainty in other areas. I don't know if they're good enough to beat the Eagles, though. I think last time they played, the Eagles beat them pretty convincingly as well, even though that was probably somewhere midway in the season. To me, this is like the year where the Eagles, like, nobody's really talking about them, maybe because it's not exciting. We've seen it already before, but the Eagles, this is the best version of the Eagles I've seen. Better than the version that went to the Super Bowl that lost to the Chiefs. Like, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, that offensive line, what they're able to do, that is, to me, I think they're probably going to be the team to go ahead and climb out of it. I got the Eagles getting into that Super Bowl, and I don't really think it matters who ends up on the other side facing them. As far as on that side of the bracket, if it's, Buffalo Bills, I don't know if they can beat the Bills, but We'll keep talking about it, Haas. I got the Eagles. You got the Rams in that one. Which games you want to go to next?
I mean, there's one more game where I told you guys last week, Lamar and King Henry should be America's favorite duo. I know there's some Buffalo fans out there, and if you're a real Buffalo fan, you know that your season either ends this week or next week. And if it doesn't end in those 2 weeks, you're not winning a Super Bowl anyway, because you never do. So a real Buffalo fan understands all that. Baltimore is the team to beat in the AFC as long as Harbaugh finds a way to, I don't know if he has to go in a press conference before the week and just play clips over and over and over and get suspended for the game. If Harbaugh can somehow make it so there's only 1 or 2 roughing the passer penalties and actual some holding calls called, then the Ravens will go to the Super Bowl.
If you're the Ravens, what's more at stake here for who loses? Ravens or Bills? Which team gets set back more by this loss?
So regular season Josh Allen will be a thing. Only wins when MVPs and does things in the regular season is also a thing for Lamar. So there's going to be a negative narrative for either of them if they lose. At least Lamar's made it to the AFC Championship. If Lamar gets to the AFC Championship again and he loses, then he really doesn't know how to win in the AFC Championship. So there's a lot of negative narratives in the AFC. At least Joe Burrow was in the Super Bowl and has winning records against Kansas City. So he might have the best narrative of all the quarterbacks in the AFC other than Mahomes.
Honestly, and his defense is so bad at times that it's like not even his fault. Like you can't even fault Burrow for a lot of the losses because you go through the scoreboard and it's like, man, you guys give up 40 points a lot throughout the regular season. You're asking for Joe Burrow to do a lot. And then you look at his stats and he does do a lot, but just not nearly enough for what they need to do on defense for them to be successful. But I do think this doesn't matter at all for a team like the Ravens who dominate in the run game.
So Buffalo played the Niners in a very, very, very cold, snowy game, and each play was an 8-yard run, 9-yard run. That's when McCaffrey just fell to the ground because he shouldn't have played while being hurt. And Buffalo understands how to play in the snow, but you have 2 or 3 players on Baltimore that, I mean, there's no way you can guard them. There's no way you can guard them. We talked about what's worse, getting dunked on or getting stiff-armed by King Henry. And I was 99.99. No, I was 100% sure getting stiff-armed by King Henry is worse. But going on a tangent, the dunk by John Morant on Wemby.
Oh. Oh, man. That might have been... I about puked. I was sick.
If you have not seen this dunk, please go look at it. John Morant dunking on Wemby. It was a little bit of a Blake Griffin throw, like it's still a dunk, but
it was better than the Blake Griffin throw. Even he was a lot closer to the throw.
Yes.
Blake Griffin was like way out and kind of threw it in.
Yep, but the motion was still a little bit of a throw. So if you're going to take away style of points, fine, whatever. But oh man, that has to be the dunk of the year. And I know Anthony Edwards is like, no, mine's better, but no.
I will say it's kind of been a weird year for Victor Wembanyama because not a guy you would think of. Kobe White also had a monster poster on him. These small guards have been having some awesome posters this year. Like John Morant, we kind of knew about, but Kobe White, Chicago Bulls, had a nice one as well. I will say this: are you a little bit surprised to see Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs? I don't want to say struggle because I think they're on track, but you expect a little bit more from them at this point in the season. As let me look at the standings. I think they're probably looking at play-in right now.
They're ahead. They're ahead of last year. The thing that happens in sports, rookies, freshmen, whatever grade it is, whatever sport it is, a new player is always exciting. A new player is always exciting. And so when you see Wemby, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then you expect him to be twice as good the next year. and he might just be slightly better than last year. And then you're like, what's going on? Why is he so bad? So the sophomore slumps that everyone puts out there isn't necessarily the slump. It's the expectations that are just wrong. Like, we really got to think about that. And then we also go and focus on the next new thing. It's the narrative that the media puts on it. It's the narrative that coaches put on it. And sometimes it's better to remember what you have and instead of getting attracted to the new dangly thing out there.
Yeah, let's talk about this sophomore slump from Victor. Terrible. Let's see. He's averaging 24.5 points, about 4 assists. He is shooting 35% from 3. At that height is terrifying. 47% overall from the floor. We'll give you 11 rebounds a game as well, on top of 4 blocks and steal a game and 3.5 turnovers. So that's a sophomore slump. Like, it's really
that's
good.
my point. Like, people expect him to score 40, 20, 10, and 10 blocks. Like, it's just wrong expectations.
Yeah, I mean, look at Giannis, look at Jokic. A lot of the great players that we end up seeing, that takes a little bit of time. And the fact that Victor's already here in year 2, like, you feel pretty good. The fact that his 3-point shot is at 35% is a miracle to me. That was probably the part of his game that we want to say worried. Like, I wasn't worried about it, but it was a tool that he could be unstoppable if he ever got figured out. Because over in France, that 3-point line, I don't want to say a lot closer, but quite a bit closer. I think it's the college 3.
Might be 3-4 feet closer. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if he's going to really struggle with that adjustment. Has a little bit, but 35% at that height in year 2, only going to get better, I'd imagine. I still don't know what the ceiling is for Victor Wembanyama, but I'll tell you what, year by year, even with the quote unquote sophomore slump, it just keeps going up for me. This guy's going to be in terrifying, and he just doesn't get hurt. You have yet to have like one real legitimate injury scare with this guy through his youth.
Let's not put that out there. Let's not jinx him.
I'm not buying into that, dude.
I do. Like, I don't want to put negative juju out there.
Trust me, my mom, she's a big Jets fan, believes in that kind of stuff, superstition. Hasn't watched the Jets in years for that. Ask me how the Jets are doing. Her sacrifice hasn't worked at all. So she has saved herself some misery, though. So there is that.
Hey, anything to stop watching that. It is a thing, though. So Austin Reeves, for example, he was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, best contract ever. And then there's rumors this year about trading him. And people are just forgetting how good Austin Reeves actually is. Like, at times, he's the Lakers' best player or second best player. At other times, people are like, trade him and bring in an average third star. But if you actually watch the games, Austin Reeves should be an all-star this year. Austin Reeves does more than LeBron on the court. People just have what?
Oh. Now keep going.
People just have false expectations, and they want Austin Reeves to hit 10 threes a game and score 30 points a game and make popcorn and get 10 assists. Like, what has Austin Reeves done in the last 10 games or 20 games?
We'll give you his last 10 games. 44% from the floor, 40% from 3, 87% from a free throw line, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 22 points.
It's not terrible.
It's pretty good for the last 10. It's when you bring in the rest of the season, which, we'll see as it evolves. He's kind of becoming a bigger guy for him, it feels like. The season's a little worse for him. 44 field goal percentage, 36 3-point, 82 free throw, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and about 2.5 turnovers, 18.5 points. So takes
still
a big
18.5 for the season. I thought you were going to say like 12.
No.
Like, he's
pretty good.
Still. Like, to mention that you should trade him away is what I'm getting at. Is like, that's just crazy talk.
You don't want. Where do you find the playmaking if you get rid of him, though? That's kind of where I'm at. Because LeBron James, he does a lot of that for you, but also at times when LeBron James is off the court, like, who do you like as your actual playmakers on that? Because someone's got to feed AD. He's not one of those centers that you can just. He's not Jokic, right? You can't just give him the ball and let him set up the offense. Now we might have lost Tabrizi there. All right, no worries there. What we'll do is, since we lost the one and only Tabrizi, we'll see if we can get him back on the other side. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. I will say, though, I don't think the Lakers really have a whole lot of playmakers. I think when LeBron goes on the bench, it's big trouble. Real quick, though, since we got Haas technical difficulties, I will use this as an opportune time to give you guys some updates on Nebraska basketball. Be sure to stay tuned in. As soon as the clock hits 0, your guy, Austin Orman, he will have the post-game post-up with maybe Eric Strickland will join him. But currently, it's 55-59. Huskers down by 4 on the road. 8 minutes left to go in the second half. So we kind of talked about before, but this is a big game for the Huskers. A, they need to get back on the winning side of things. B, it's another opportunity to go win a road game, right? You were up by 15 in Iowa. You had the opportunity. You couldn't do it. The only road game you got right now is Creighton, which is fantastic, but it means a lot when you can do it in conference, road wins. And it's a lot easier to do it against Maryland than it is to be going on the road versus Oregon later in the year and try to get a road win there. All right, we'll throw it to break. On the other side, we'll plug Haas Tabrizi back in. 2 more segments. The Breeze, talk to you in a little bit.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
It's the new year, and it's time for a new John Deere. Acres has all new John Deere compact tractors, mowers, and Gator UTVs on sale with money-saving financing options. Whether it's recreation or landscaping, Acres has the John Deere for you. Visit your local Acres store for details. And don't forget, Acres has a full lineup of used equipment as well. Act now. These incentives expire January 31st, 2025. Financing program subject to credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier dealership, stocking top brands such as Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycles, Sea-Doo, Manitou pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership and ring in the new year the right way on an Indian motorcycle. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft to ring in the new year at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hello, I am Ayanna Blake. Welcome to Mind Your Mind. In this new chapter of our lives, let us focus on the things we can control. This week, I was passing by the television and overheard Mel Robbins talking about her newly released book titled The Let Them Theory. She said, the message with the Let Them Theory is that no matter what's going on outside of you. The power is always inside of you. She went on to say, the two words, let them, are the key to helping you see what's in your control and what's not in your control. Let's take a brief second to acknowledge what we can control. You. We can't control others. We can't control their actions, beliefs, responses, or lack of. I encourage you to center yourself on things you can control and watch the gift of peace overtake you. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or visit ayannablake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness. And remember, let them.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to The Breeze. Harrison Arndt on the ones and twos. As always, the host, Tabrizi, joining me through the stream, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961, 402-464-5685. All great ways to put a face to the voice. Tabrizi, we chopped up a little bit of NBA. It wasn't on my bingo card here, but we also have some NFL playoff games. We didn't even talk about the losers yet of the previous games. We did talk about the upcoming games, though. But as always, it's your show. Tabrizi, where do you want to go? You got to mute yourself. I can't mute you there. There we go.
Just habits, buddy. Habits. To be clear, being close to over, if it's over in 15 minutes, we could make sure to do the post-game report during the show. It's fine.
Yeah, we got Austin Norman waiting in the wing for Husker Hoops, though. Unfortunately.
Perfect.
If you want to join,
excited to hear about Husker Hoops. No, that's what I meant. So be ready to hear the post game. It could be in the next 10 minutes, could be in the next 14 minutes.
Perfect.
Hopefully Nebraska comes back shortly and gets out of this little losing streak, because two games on the road, one game at home, and then another game on the road, and then the brutal schedule coming up. I kind of said weeks ago, I'm happy they weren't ranked, because it's frustrating to be ranked 24th, 25th. And then go looking at their schedule, go lose, and then be like, ugh. So I'm sure that was a little bit of a part of it when they had their nice win against UCLA, who now also UCLA looks atrocious.
Yeah, Mick Cronin's crashing out right now. I don't know if you've seen it, but those press conferences have been brutal for the guy lately. He's not happy with where that program's out, and he's got an old school strategy of calling his own team out. We'll see if it works for him, though. It's been a tough year for Mick Cronin and company.
What's the score right now?
For it's 64-55 Maryland. Terrapins up.
Not good. With less than 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, 6 minutes, 30 seconds left. Not good at all. I was talking to Austin Norman, though. It sounds like it was one of those unfortunate for Nebraska. We just look like a middling Big Ten team. It's kind of what I got from him. It's like it looks Big Ten. There's nothing defensively. Yeah, we're good there at times, but offensively, just slow, stalls out. it's just not clicking. It looks very Big Ten-ish. It's kind of just the report. Like, not a team that's really going to impress anybody. And even Maryland, if they get the win today, it'll be a good way to end the game. But it sounded like it was pretty sluggish from them all the way up until the end now, as they're up 9 points.
I mean, 9 points watching Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Reggie Miller, Maryland, and Duke. 9 points isn't that much. Those situations where you'd have a 10-point comeback in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you just mentioned a bunch of really great, awesome players. So, I don't know if we have one of those. Bryce.
Hey. Just relax. Cut it to 5 with 3 minutes to go. Cut it to 5 with 3 minutes to go. Even 2 minutes to go. Cut it to 5 with 2 minutes to go, and it's fine.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, I do want to, like, quick, just since I said the joke, Bryce Williams kind of is that guy. I think he's had a few games where he's really pushed this team and even got us to overtime. Unfortunately, hasn't had much help at those clutch moments stepping up with him. So Bryce Williams,
keep us posted. Let us know if it ever gets cut to 5, because cutting it to 5 even with a minute left is 2 stops, and it's not the end of the world. So you guys have to watch games as coaches. Like, just don't panic. Down 9 with 6.5. It's okay. 1 possession stop, cut it to 7. Another possession stop, cut it to 5. Boom. That's it.
Yeah, and I don't think. Let me double check here. I want to say Maryland isn't the most intimidating free throw shooting team.
That was my impression.
Yeah,
usually not a. If you're a lower tier team in the conference, that means free throw shooting and defense are weak. So,
and that usually tends to be pretty accurate. All right, Maryland. Let's look at their season on the free throws. Like I said, it's going to matter. So tonight they're shooting 66% on the free throw line. On the season, this team is shooting a cool 75%. So really, actually not as bad as I thought. 75% for college basketball. You want more, but Nebraska lately has been more in the 60s themselves. So it's also an issue, like, how you beat teams like that struggle with free throws. Even though 75 isn't really that bad, you make yours. But if Nebraska continues on the run that they've been on lately, really struggling with free throws.
The Iowa game, they just had to make one more free throw and they would have won.
In the game before that, they just had to make one. They've had multiple games in a row. And like I said, tonight, they're 4 for 8. Nebraska, 50% from the free throw line. I don't know what's going on there. Huss, you're a coach. Let me ask you, what happens, or what is that when a good free throw shooting team all of a sudden has mid-season free throw shooting woes?
If they were actually good?
That's the question. Okay, is that the answer? That they weren't ever actually that good?
I mean, if you tell me a team that was 75, 78% now has become 50, then what is mentally going on? And then B, what's the environment? So when Larry Bird was shooting, they'd put bikinis up and things like that. Would it distract him? No, it was Larry Bird. So it's Big Ten on the road.
Yeah, and maybe that's all it is. Sometimes the numbers obviously are better at home. I do think a little bit, though, this team earlier in the year, maybe the free throw numbers were better than they actually were. Because you're looking at guys like Braxton Mia, Burke, some of these lower free throw percentage shooters, even a guy like Andrew Morgan. They're actually doing pretty well, I thought, earlier in the season. And I convinced myself that this was a good free throw shooting team. As time's gone on now, there's only a few guys I actually really trust to be consecutive knockdown shooters. Because even in that last game, I think Braxton Mia went 0 for 3 on the free throw line. And that's another game. This was right down to, you got to figure out ways to close those, because Rutgers found a way to really gain a ton of momentum. But a lot of that was they were making their free throws and Nebraska just was missing all theirs. So even if we'd get a bucket, it'd soon be reversed, because they would go score and now they're in a tight situation again. And all they got to do is foul and hope you miss. And then we'd miss. And then they get up 1 point closer, 2 points closer. And then before you know it, it was Rutgers was running away with it. So we're sitting here, 3 minutes left to go. Let me refresh the page here. Hopefully I see some more points for the Huskers. 57-66. Terrapin's still up. Less than 4 minutes to go.
Okay, got to cut to 5 with 2 minutes to go or it's over.
Yeah. Where's the Big Ten at for you this year in terms of strength of conferences? Because the Big East is down. The Big Ten, I'm starting to wonder if it's down as well.
I mean, when you have 65 teams in your conference, it's got to have some talent.
Yeah. Well, it added Oregon, ranked. UCLA was ranked, turning out not to be so great right now. Washington.
USC is supposed to be average. It's not bad.
Yeah, USC is a good team. I don't think Washington is. I'd have to see where they're at, but
I'm just saying in the Pac-12 they were average, and Washington. I mean, that picks up your middle.
Definitely does.
You just give us updates on the game, but we could talk about wrestling for a second when we come back after the break. But if the game ends, obviously stay tuned for the post-game report by Austin Norman. We'll be back on the Breeze.
Absolutely. Austin Breezy, let me pull up the ad here. You caught me off guard. That's what doing this show here. No worries at all.
I will start singing and talk to you about the Sartor Heyman text line. 402
we'll just go to break. We don't have to do any of that.
5685.
The Breeze.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hello, I am Ayanna Blake. Welcome to Mind Your Mind. In this new chapter of our lives, let us focus on the things we can control. This week, I was passing by the television and overheard Mel Robbins talking about her newly released book titled The Let Them Theory. She said, the message with the Let Them Theory is that no matter what's going on outside of you, the power is always inside of you. She went on to say, the two words, let them, are the key to helping you see what's in your control and what's not in your control. Let's take a brief second to acknowledge what we can control. We can't control others. We can't control their actions, beliefs, responses, or lack of. I encourage you to center yourself on things you can control and watch the gift of peace overtake you. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or visit AyannaBlake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness. And remember, let them.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Breeze final segment and some possibly great news. Haas Tabrizi, you want me to keep you in track. So the Huskers got it within 5 with just over 2 minutes to go. And now they're sitting here with a minute left to go, 64-66. They're down by 2. So they are definitely in this ball game. There is a legitimate chance the Huskers can
Let's go. This is how you're supposed to watch a game instead of being negative. Okay, 9-point lead. Can we just get it to 2 possessions within a minute to go? So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, this game is, man, it's close. And it looks Nebraska must be on the free throw line. 65-66 now. Down by 1. The stats for Nebraska, 27 for 57. Maryland, 27 for 57. Field goal percentage, obviously you can imagine they're the exact same. Maryland does have an edge on 3-point shots, but yeah, this thing is going down to the wire and it's all tied up now. Nebraska sunk both their free throws, 66-66. All right, Haas.
Hey, what do we do on the Breeze? We don't give predictions. We give spoilers, baby.
Yeah, you
on
really
the day
do.
that I'm wearing a Paul Heyman shirt. On a day I'm wearing a Paul Heyman shirt. That's just fitting. Come on, Nebraska. You got to pull through.
Haas, can you tell me the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl next year?
Heck no.
Damn it. All right, I don't feel good about my chances at all next year anymore. Nope. 50 seconds to go. Haas, let me ask you, since we're in this situation and we're about to get to the end of this game here on the end of the show, late game situations, with about a minute left to go, a tie situation. At this point in the game, let me figure out who's got the ball for you. Maryland just called a timeout, 51 seconds left to go. Tie ball game. What is Nebraska trying to do here?
How many fouls? So there's things that I need to know. I need to know how many fouls.
Yeah, let me figure out who's in bonus.
I need to know how many timeouts each team has. Those are things I'm considering.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a tie game, 51 seconds. obviously a stop and you can get the last possession, which is a huge deal.
ESPN doesn't really do a great job showing you all the timeouts.
Okay. So as a coach, as I'm sitting there, I used to call timeouts for jump balls, this and that. And I realized later on as a coach, jump balls don't matter. Possession doesn't matter. I can have the possession arrow, or I could just get a stop on defense. But having timeouts at the end of the game really matters, so I can control what I want to control. So as a coach, I need to be able to draw up the plays I want to draw, identify what I need to do on defense if that's what it is, and just be able to communicate. So for those of you that are younger coaches, wasting timeouts early just to get a jump ball, which is it's so cool to be able to beat the ref to a jump ball and call a timeout, is actually a waste. You need to save all your timeouts for the end.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because you do see that, especially in like the lower ranks, not so much college basketball, but lower ranks, you'll see it all the time. Some of my own coaches love that one. It's a good chance for them to go ahead.
I mean, I would do it too, but it just depends. Like it depends on the mood of the game. But if it's if you actually run plays and you can draw up plays and you can execute plays, then you need your timeouts. You need to hold them to the end. Or you might have a team where you only have 5 good players and you just want to rest people, and they don't have TV timeouts and it's not 2-hour games like colleges. So there's things like that too. With a situation like this, with Maryland losing a lead like this,
now they just got it back.
You don't want the Iowa situation where you get excited and you get it to overtime and then you just lose by 10. So, and I'm exaggerating. I think it was 9. But the point is, it's a very okay. So is it a 2-point lead right now?
Yeah, for Maryland, they got it back. They made a layup, and then I'll foul on Nebraska as well because they got a steal.
Oh,
30 seconds.
How many timeouts left for Nebraska?
I got no idea. I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking on ESPN. I thought they gave you how many timeouts they have. I'm looking at the second half alone. I'm not being able to see.
Well, Husker Nation, I hope you're not frustrated with me. I told you what would need to happen to get it to a ball game, and they did it.
Yeah.
You can't turn over the ball with
a chance. They just
you can't turn over the ball with 30 seconds to go. I
and that's,
obviously didn't see the play, but that's so rough.
Yeah, especially they make a layup, you turn it over, and now you got a foul. So now it turns into
a 4-point game with 30 seconds left, 28 seconds left.
I think it's a potential.
But that's why the foul question is important. Like, how many fouls do you need to get them to the free throw line? So if they're already at the limit, then fine. But strategies come in. If you haven't fouled all half, or the refs don't call fouls, and you're down 3, you're gonna have to shoot a 3 because you can't do the foul game if you do 2, and you need 4 fouls just to get to the free throw line. So those are factors that matter in the late game situation.
I wonder if this is the problem for the Huskers. Do you have to learn how to close games out? Because it just feels like Nebraska, they do a really good job getting themselves back in the position to go ahead and make that final run. And not always, just as of late, they've been falling short a lot against this better competition. But they're right there. Like, some of the stats will even indicate that Nebraska played the quote-unquote better game in terms of shot selection, rebounding, and assists, and fewer turnovers, but they're still finding ways to just barely lose out at the end of games.
I mean, if you can't win at the end, the Kansas City Chiefs win really well in close games. A team that wins close games, they didn't have to do it last night, but isn't it pretty cool that the Commanders' last 5 wins were all walk-offs?
No.
And it all started when number 29 on the Bears taunted the fans and taught them what a walk-off win is like.
Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson. I'll say his name. He knows it. He knows it. He apologized. It's one of those that hurts. Yeah. Real quick, I'm waiting for the clock to hit 0 so we can talk about it. It's just, I'm assuming they must have called a full timeout on the floor. 66-68 still. Maryland obviously still has the ball. Bryce Williams fouled. I'm assuming there's free throws coming up if Maryland's in the bonus. I'd imagine they are. As wrap things up here, and then the quick anecdote. Hopefully by the time I'm done with the anecdote, we can give you the final score, and Austin Norman can come do the post game. The reason I figured out why it bothered me so much about DP is like that was supposed to be my season. that DP's having right now. Like, he came out of the portal. Everything was awesome. They made it to the playoffs. Rookie quarterback, Dan Quinn, coach of the year. And he took that from me when the Commanders got that Hail Mary. I think that's been the pill that's been tough to swallow.
Should have drafted Jaden Daniels.
No. Because if you get Jane Daniels, you still have to have some idea of what you want to do on the offense. You have to have an offensive line that understands how to block. You can't just get a bunch of skill guys and have zero plan. And that's been the Bears this year. All right. We're going to wrap it up here, Haas. Coming to the end of the clock. 66-68 left. They had to foul again.
Much time left?
22 seconds. And Burke just had to foul again. I'd imagine, they're at the free throw line now. 69-66. Maryland in the bonus. Nebraska's going to have to do something crazy to try to pull this one out. All right, Tabrizi. Appreciate the time as always. We'll do it again next Sunday.